Hey people, welcome to the channel, and it is time that we talk about Pyro, both the good and bad. I've had several hours, even beyond the schedule that I was assigned, and I have a few thoughts that I want to share with you. Before we go on, because I do know that so many of you guys love it when I both criticize and at the same time promote Star Citizen, remember that you have the link there below in the description of the video, so as to go to robertspacindustries.com, and you have my referral so as to use it and get 5,000 credits of in-game money for you to enjoy. Okay, let's start with the good. Pyro exists. That's actually a very positive thing to keep in mind. I was actually worried that we wouldn't even see this, what we're seeing now. This is all my own gameplay. So this is me running around doing stuff, and yeah, it looks beautiful. All of this stuff looks great. Lots of little details. It is quite dirty and derelict and messed up, and wires and cables and improvised. Looks like a fucking shanty town in space. Love it. The cities, the settlements, and the planets and all over Pyro, great. The aesthetics of rusty, orangey looks, yes. Those settlements, they arrange them in ways that they look quite different from one another, which is a point we'll get to in a second here. And it has all of that Star Wars Tatooine vibe. I love that. Now, as of this moment, there's a lot missing in terms of many of these settlements and towns and so on are quite empty. There's not a whole lot for you to do there. And what there is for you to do, it is kind of limited, kind of always the same thing. And yes, most of those that I visited, there was not much of activity of even NPCs walking around, which gives it a little bit more of a of a livable feel to it, okay? And talking about the size of Pyro, it is massive. I mean, let me stop this in a second here. This is huge, but the distances, man, they are insane. And really, is there much of a need for that? Quantum traveling maybe twice as much, 3 times as much as before, so as to get from one place to another. Guys, that is, folks, that's not gameplay. Wasting 10 minutes or whatever the hell it is that it takes, depending on the quantum drive that you have. It is insane. These distances drive you nuts. So that would be one of the things I would criticize. But it's really not the worst thing that I saw. You have the you have the planets, the moons. You have all of this. But there is one thing that has me really concerned, which is when you go for Starlight Service Station. All right, you go to Starlight Service Station. You go to Checkmate. You go to Arbitrary. And what is it that you see? What is that you see? That they're all the same place. They're all the same city. All of this, what you're seeing now, when you go in it, like the market, right? This thing, this is the exact same in all of them. So, the problem with this is if you copy and paste stations, space stations in Stanton, it kind of sucks. But at some level, you can say, yes, these are space stations, they are mass-produced, they're modules that you assign and you arrange, so they're a little bit different, but they're always kind of like the same thing. You know what I'm talking about. The Stanton's Lagrange stations, they're all the same modules, all right? And one of the things that I criticize is that when they got rid of the only one that was different, Port Olisar, when they got rid of that, they replaced it with yet another exact same thing. Which, at least for me, it was kind of like a cheap shot. Because if you're replacing the only one that is different, maybe do something different there as well. Put a little bit more of manpower, just a little bit more of heart, of dedication, of love to the game you're making, and make one thing different. Don't remove the different thing and replace it with yet another copy-paste. Well, yes, it is a copy-paste. You're arranging the same modules and having the same station. But doing it here yet again, that is unforgivable. Why? Because all of this stuff that you see, the corrugated metal, the pieces of plastic, laminated steel, the junk, all of this, there's no way in which it can all be the same yet again. These are not supposed to be modules of an advanced space station. This is supposed to be a completely derelict place where everyone just threw pieces of cloth and jerry-rigged everything. This is supposed to be a broken mess. So when I visited all of the places so as to see, okay, I want to see what Checkmate looks like. Okay, I want to see what Starlight looks like. All right, I want to see what Obituary and the other one, Rust or whatever the hell it is called. I ended up walking into the exact same place. They copy-pasted, basically, especially this market area, they copy-pasted the same thing. I don't know if these guys have different tattoos or not. Who the hell gives a flying fuck about that? Are you really watching and looking into the tattoos of these dudes? Of course not. But I can tell you one thing you're looking at. It is the same city. It is the same settlement. And it's not supposed to be that way because this is the... I mean, I think that this store has even the same things. And yes, I get it. It's like an early tech, whatever bullshit thing is. And yes, that can be fixed. But you know what cannot be fixed? That they copy-pasted the same thing 4 fucking times. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I'm not angry. You know, it's a game. It's all good. Relax. Chill. Don't get your panties all bunched up in your little mangina. Relax. You know, for you little fucking fanboys, take a chill pill. But it is a big issue. It is. You have a new system after, 10 years, and they fucking copy-pasted places that were supposed to be different, all right? No, you're exaggerating. They're like, no, I'm not. Imagine this. Imagine if you had New Babbage, Horizon, Hurston, Area 18, all right? Imagine if you had the 4 cities that you know of, and imagine if I copy-paste the same city 4 times and I just change the name. How would that look in any game? That is not serious. It is not professional. It is not what adults do. You don't copy and paste the same place 4 times that is supposed to be different because, again, it is not a standardized module. It's not like the mining stations that you can say, yeah, okay, they have the same template, a big-ass spaceship drops that thing, and that's how it looks. This stuff that you see here, you cannot have the same sign painted all over the place. And maybe, yeah, you can use from the same library, but for fucking Christ, arrange it a little bit different. Make it, and there's ways of doing this. If you have the people, and they do, if you have the time, and they've so had it for so long. But you know what this looks like, and you know what it feels like? It feels rushed. You have to laugh because it feels rushed. It feels as if the word came down from the man himself and said, we need Pyro now. Something is happening. We need this now, desperately. Oh, but we don't have the 4 different cities and starting points and, cities in space or the range faction towns built in these places. Doesn't matter. Copy paste the same damn thing 4 times. Don't even bother rearranging a few basic things so that at least it feels a little bit different. One of these does have a refinery. The other one, some of the other ones don't. But that's basically where it ends. It's the exact same place for the clinic is the exact same thing. The market is the exact same thing. It's all the exact same thing. Let me know if I'm missing anything here. Maybe I missed one town of these. But especially the marketplace, copy-pasted, guys. They copy-pasted the same thing 4 times and gave it different names in places that were supposed to be different. Again, I cannot copy Hurston 4 times and call it Hurston, Paradise City, New Vegas, and Magic Town and put the exact same fucking town copy-pasted 4 times with everything being the exact same. That's just not how it works. We're talking about a game that has so much money into it, so much time. But I insist on this. For me, it was a matter of we're rushing things because we need this. For whatever reason, I won't pretend to know exactly what was going on, but I can tell you this. This was rushed so as to have something for people to finally see something different because people were fed up. People were bored, and most probably people were not playing, not spending money, and not even coming back to this thing, okay? I am here. I am playing in Pyro and doing the reviews, but as always, I'm being honest about it because that's the only way I know how to be. But when I go to Starlight Service Station and then I fly over for goddamn 10 minutes or whatever it is it takes to checkmate. Oh, I want to go and see checkmate. Sounds so cool. Checkmate is the exact same thing, right? With a refinery. It's really not fair. And this is not a matter of polishing. This is not a matter of touching up a few things. That's what we will have in terms of the missions and things working and adding some of the loot that is obviously missing from all over the place. And all of those things, yes, they will add, polish, and then release. But there's no way in damn hell that they will make 3 different, distinctively different derelict, messed up looking shantytown locations that look and feel different in this amount of time. They will launch the new system as is, and the new system will have these starting locations that, unlike Stanton, unlike the place that you already know that has very different cities, no, here it's the same thing. Don't worry, pick any of them, they're all the same. Are they going to be the factions? Yeah, sure, but that is not serious. Just changing a few lines of code here and there does not make a place different. Does not a different place make, right? Putting tattoos on the guards in one different from the others, come on. That is not serious. That is not what grown-ass men do but it was rushed. It was desperately needed. Am I happy that we at least have it? Yeah. But it is also the case that when you do this, there's very little chance that they'll actually go back and produce distinctively different starting locations, distinctively different bases from these gangs that unavoidably they could not have possibly been copy-pasted stands and places like we just saw. Guys, simply the way it is. You don't see this in any serious, respectable game. If you go to New Atlantis and then you go to Aquila City in Starfield, they are fucking different. They have a completely different aesthetics. If you go to Neon, it is different. It looks like Vegas in space. If you go to all of these specifically different towns that are supposed to be different, they are different. Not the case here, unfortunately so. Guys, honestly, and the way it is, what it is for you to enjoy, by all means, but we have to call it on the bullshit too. See you next time.